All the seers and visionaries have visualized this samsara as a turbulent ocean of difficulties and miseries. Happiness is always coupled with misery. Sadness is always coupled with happiness. Difficulties are always coupled with some solution or other. It's very natural for us to feel perplexed and confused in state of despair and when faced with difficulties. Swami Smaranananda really inspires us that only a step further, if seen, is enough for us to go on, to carry on a path of difficulty.
सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु.
Namaskar and welcome to today's musing. Today's topic is how to get rid of difficulties of worldly life. Now, difficulties are a part and parcel of our existence in this samsara. Samsara is the ocean of turbulence which is needed to be crossed by all the sincere spiritual seekers who are aspiring to attain the absolute known as Brahman. All the seers and visionaries have visualized this samsara as a turbulent ocean of difficulties and miseries. Now, this samsara has also been termed as a world of relative existence. To understand this, we can draw the analogy of real and virtual world. In social media, it's a completely virtual world, which is not real. Similarly, the real world, where we interact with each other physically, is also considered to be a virtual world by all the seers and visionaries. That is why samsara is termed as a world of relative existence and a virtual world by the seers and visionaries. And this samsara is very ephemeral and it's an illusion created by the Maya, which is the illusory power of Brahman. So sufferings and miseries and difficulties, these being part of the ephemeral world of relative existence known as samsara, are ephemeral only. One should not get perturbed by difficult situations in life. What we perceive to be pleasant situations can be difficult for some, and what we perceive to be difficult situations can be learning experiences for some. Happiness is always coupled with misery. Sadness is always coupled with happiness. Difficulties are always coupled with some solution or other. The only difficulty is we don't perceive what is the solution at the right moment. When we are encircled with difficulties, it seems we are in a state of confusion and delirium, and we cannot see any further. We are perplexed about what to do. And this is very, very natural as we are all mortal beings and part of this relative existence world known as samsara. So it's very natural for us to feel perplexed and confused in state of despair and when faced with difficulties. I would like to read a small excerpt from the book Musings of a Monk, which has been written by respected Swami Smaranananda, the most revered President of Ramakrishna Mission worldwide. And this is about how he was influenced by a very high ideal of hopefulness in difficult situation. So let us read it. This is from page number 348 from the book Musings of a Monk, and the chapter is Where Religions Meet. So Swami Smaranananda Maharaj writes like this. Some lines from a sonnet by Cardinal Newman come to my mind. He says, I do not ask to see the distant scene, one step enough for me. I did not understand the meaning when, as a boy, I read these lines, but they were in my memory. Many years later, when I have joined the order, I happened to be climbing a mountain in India, and suddenly a big fog came and covered up everything. If you fall, you may fall 1,000 feet below. But I could see one step ahead of me and one step behind. Then I suddenly remembered this line, one step enough for me. I can carry on. I can go on. I need not see the distant scene. One step enough for me. That poem begins with, lead kindly light amidst the encircling gloom. Lead thou me on. So this beautiful memoir of Swami Smaranananda really inspires us. It can inspire us to the fact that only a step further, if seen, is enough for us to go on, to carry on a path of difficulty. Why to think what is in store in future? A step forward towards the solution is enough. One more, I would like to read out one more excerpt from the book Musings of a Monk. Is about a story which has been narrated by Swami Smaranananda about how being a devotee to a very high ideal helps in facing difficult situations like terrible tragedies of life or any misery which is very hard to digest being in this world. So while facing any terrible tragedy or any difficult situation, we can take inspiration from this wonderful story about a devotee as narrated by Swami Smaranananda in this book Musings of a Monk. The excerpt which I am reading now is from page number 367 of the chapter Spirituality in Daily Life. A lady devotee in Kolkata suddenly lost her son, a brilliant student preparing for his senior Cambridge present class 12 examinations, in a drowning accident. The lady is very much devoted to Sri Ramakrishna and Sri Sarada Devi. Even then, when I heard about it, I felt that she would be devastated and went personally to her house to offer some consolation. But to our surprise, instead of being consoled by us, the lady tried to console us, saying, "The Lord gave and the Lord took him away. What is the use of sorrowing?" This attitude was possible for her only because of her deep faith in and devotion to the divine personalities. So, this memoir of Swami Smaranananda about a lady devotee from Kolkata who had lost her son in a drowning accident proves that by sticking to a higher ideal and by having deep faith and devotion for holy personalities with whom we can identify with helps a lot in accepting calmly the tragedies of this ephemeral samsara. I sincerely pray so that all difficulties are easily overcome by anyone, whoever is in difficulty in present situation, and may the faith, belief and devotion in one's chosen deity and ideal help the person concerned to tide over all the difficulties of this world. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगं शान्ति पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरौषधायः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वगुं शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्तिः साम शान्तिरेधि ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ